You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Thursday edition of Coffee with Graeme on AETi Productions. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. Coffee with Graeme is, of course, brought to you by AETi, Fabricland Winkler, and Evolve Green. In today's episode, it's our Elmwood Giants special. We're going to be talking to two members from the Elmwood Giants today. Of course, on August 16th, on last Monday, they ended up winning their fourth straight championship over the Pembina Valley Orioles in the MJBL championship game, 10-0. I'm going to have a chance to ask Ed about this crazy season that Elmwood had in terms of just the dominance that they had all year. We're going to just speak about the postseason and regular season as well as what players stood out and what the plan is going into next year with the players that they will have returning and the potential talent they'll have coming in. So please join me in welcoming in General Manager of the Elmwood Giants now on this edition of Coffee with Graeme, Ed Kulyk of the Elmwood Giants here on AETi Productions. And joining me now on Coffee with Graeme is Ed Kulyk. He's in his own living quarters right now in his living room. Ed, thanks so much for joining me. I mean, the championship happened last Monday. I'm sure that you've had a chance to let it all soak and settle in now. Just how's it going since, that championship game that you guys had on last Monday?
Everything's going well. Yep. We're just pretty much talking to all our players that are leaving for college and still working at the field, prepping the field for our seniors. Senior Giants are still playing league play.
Right on. Nice to definitely see some baseball still going on after you guys were able to end your season on a high note. Just how nice is it to see that senior baseball is in the full swing of things?
Oh, it's good. We've got a few of our graduating players already playing with the senior team. So they're still the guys that are still in the city are still getting to play for probably another 2.5 weeks.
Right on. So it definitely gives them some extra reps heading into next season that some teams might not have. But let's move away from that. Talk about the championship win, fourth straight championship for you guys. You guys end up taking down Pembina Valley, the Orioles, in the championship game last Monday, 10-0. Just take me back to that championship game. I know you did something with Pembina Valley Online, just talking about that game. You guys rolled with Tyler Smith on the mound in that final. You guys got a timely hit from Owen Harms, who ended up hitting a monster 3-1 home run, as you said so yourself, and then snowballed after that. Just take us through what that championship game was like for you guys to win that fourth straight championship.
Well, the boys got to the park really early. They were hitting on field. Really loose, having fun, joking around. We knew we had two lives. If Pembina Valley beat us game one, we still had another shot that same night. But nice and loose. Tyler was ready. We kind of stopped him game one Saturday at like 60 pitches, so he was pretty good to go. And he said he wanted the ball, so we gave him the ball. And the game started quick, back and forth, and then Owen came up and hit the 3-run home run there to take a 3-0 lead. And we rallied from there. And then just that fifth inning, we knew we could taste blood. And Garrett Graham hitting another 3-run home run. And then, sad that it ended on a pass ball for the 10-run mercy. But all in all, it was a pretty good game. I know they were short bench, and they had a couple of kids missing, so they had some midgets, but they tried their hardest, and it was a good game.
Just speaking about that, managing Tyler Smith the way you guys did in a tournament like this, which is something you've never had a chance to experience, let alone the whole league hasn't had a chance to experience the double elimination. Just how huge was that of just managing your pitchers in that short amount of time that you guys had to play in the champion in the playoffs in the MJBL this year?
It was, we had a game plan. We had Tyler going. We had Brandon Merced going next, and luckily, just the two of them through. We still had Kevin Burnett, Nick Doig, and Mahey. So we still had we I think we managed it very well. That we still had a lot of arms, fresh arms, ready to go. So it worked out for us. It was a different scenario with the bracket play, but all in all, it was good.
So for you guys, just being able to have Brandon there for the playoffs, just with what he was able to do last year, being named the league's top pitcher, just how huge was it to have him back when you guys did, and especially for the playoff run that you guys had of having Brandon back?
It was big. It was especially for Tyler Smith, who as a pickup last year, he didn't get many innings, but he was able to talk to Brandon in the dugout in between innings, and they pretty much hung out in the bullpens together. So it was good. It was as a senior, he really helped the younger guys prepare for this championship run.
Just speaking about how experienced this team is, you spoke about it at the start of the season. For you guys to be able to go 19-1-1 in total is just such an impressive feat. Just to have the experienced group that you guys had this year, just speak about how truly huge that was in terms of you guys just going for that fourth straight championship and accomplishing that.
It was pretty easy because our seniors lead by example. They get to the park early, they're putting their work in, and the younger first and second years just pretty much follow suit. And it's just second nature now. They know what to do. They know what we want, and they just go out and do it. It's very a good group of kids to coach. Very easy to coach.
Just when that final pitch was thrown, or that final out in the game, just realizing that you guys accomplished that goal of winning four in a row. You said in that interview on Pembina Valley Online that you were in shock. Just a surreal experience of you guys being able to accomplish that. Just describe what the atmosphere was like on the field when you guys were MJBL champions once again.
Yeah, like I said, it was a shock. Justin Scott led off that inning. We were up only 4-0, and didn't think of putting up a 6 spot in the fifth to finish it. But it happened so quick with two walks, and then a single, and then a double, and then Garrett hit a 3-run home run, and then a walk and a wild pitch, and it was just like I was still working on the scorebook, and the game was over, and the boys celebrated, and it was fun just to kind of sit in the dugout and watch them celebrate. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you told me in our very first interview earlier this year, before the season even kicked off, that you told the boys that they were going to have a target on their back. Just to see this group go out every game, not having many close games except for the exception of a few, and do the things that they did. Just how special was that to see them go out and handle the pressure like they did?
It was, as Coach Dave Nychuk would say, it was almost plug and play. It didn't matter who we put in the lineup and where they were batting. They just confidence, I think, from winning the last three, that they knew they could put the ball in play and make things happen. We're an aggressive team, and we play at a high pace, high tempo, we always say, and we make teams chase us. We don't play down to them, and we were successful.
Yeah, and you guys were most notably the most successful at home, not losing a single game at home this season in regular season and in playoffs. You just spoke about the type of place that Koski Field is, the history. Just to have a type of season like this on that field, going out and playing you guys' game, every single game on that field. Just what was it like playing at Koski Field this year compared to other years?
It's special. Like I said, our game started at 7 o'clock. Our guys are at the field at 4:30. They're prepping. We're hitting. We're doing on-field batting practice every home game. We get that done in probably an hour. Then they kind of have a bite to eat. They start warming up for 6 o'clock, and it's just something about that park that our guys just. It's a unique park, and we know the quirks of it, and we hit well there, and we play well there, and it's pretty special.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely speaks volumes about how much of an advantage you guys have when you play on that field. Just looking at the perfect record there this season. Just speaking about that work that this team puts in. The first time you joined me, you were talking about how there were a lot of guys on the team putting in that work in the off season to get themselves ready for this year. Just speak about how that work from even the off season just translated into the regular season and playoff success that this team had.
Well, with the boys that are out of town playing in college, U.S. and Canada, they're working pretty much all season. They're like we just finished, and these guys are now in fall ball in college. They're going full tilt still, so there's no pretty much shutdown time for them till probably Christmas. And the kids that are here, like I said, the ones that are here are playing senior now, so it's pretty easy for them to get the work in. And on top of that, most of them, like with our batting cages, they're there on their own hitting off tees, so we don't really have to push them. They do it on their own.
Yeah, definitely so beneficial as just a general manager and for the whole coaching staff when you have a group like that buys in. Just speak about that buy-in that you've seen from this group from the 4 past seasons that has just allowed you guys to be able to do the things that you've been able to do.
It's pretty easy. Like I've said to a few different people that when the history of the Elmwood Giants, as soon as they put that jersey on and they respect that jersey, they respect the game. Just magical things happen when they put that jersey on. So it's been quite exciting and rewarding.
Well, we're going to keep talking about the season that you guys had coming up in just a moment. We're going to go to our first commercial break here in today's edition of Coffee with Graeme. I've been joined by their general manager, the general manager of the Elmwood Giants, Ed Kulyk, on this edition of the show. I'll be back with Ed in just a moment, but first, a word from one of our sponsors. Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on AETi Productions. It's our Elmwood Giants special today because we didn't have a chance to talk to any of the members of the team last week after their championship win last Monday against the Pembina Valley Orioles. I was on holidays, so was unable to do that, but we're glad to have it for you guys this week on Coffee with Graeme on this Thursday edition of the show. I've been joined by Ed, and this episode, he's just been talking about the season that this team had, most notably in the playoffs, just talking about how they've been able to be so dominant at home this season. We're going to continue talking about the team this year, and just going back to the regular season, you guys finished with a 16-1-1 record, 178 runs for the next best team in the league with that in terms of that number at 109 as was Winnipeg South, and then 47 runs against. The next least team was St. James at 98. Just speak about, how you guys were able to be so dominant as you were this season compared to the other years that you guys have won championships in the past 4 years.
Well, offensively, we really work on two-strike approach. We don't like to strike out. We need to put balls in play. When we do get on base, we're always looking for a ball down to advance 90 feet. We do that very well. And our pitching has just been lights out. Put the ball in play with our defense and our speed. If a ball's in play, the odds are we're going to get an out probably 70% of the time. So we really strive on defense, speed, and aggressive at bats.
You guys had some quite a few all-stars last season. Just speak about, some of the players that, really came out to play this year on the offensive side of things. Of course, Garrett Graham had a fantastic season, one of the best, if not arguably the best of his career. You guys got other guys too that really came out to play. Just speak about, once again, what truly made this offense so special this season to go out and do what they did consistently.
Yeah, just I got the book in front of me. I'm looking at Justin Scott leading off, was over 400 this year. Owen Knightchuk, I think between Owen and Justin, one of them, and Garrett, one of those three. If we don't know if there's gonna be an awards this year for All Stars. Jamie wasn't sure yet. We're still working on that, but with three guys like that batting over 400, uh, Owen Harms, who's been an All Star, he's plays everywhere. He's been here for 4 years. He still has another year. He's been here for 4 years. Like just looking at the book, Owen Harms went 5 for 10 with 2 home runs, 7 RBIs just in the 3-game playoffs, and he's batting in the 8 hole. So pretty good from there. Riley Craw, first year was pretty close to 400. It was special, a very special team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Just to be that dominant in that category compared to the other teams in the league too is something that really stands out to me. We always seem to talk about your guys' pitching as well. Of course, we talked about Brandon Reset the last time that you joined us, but just speaking about the other pitchers that you guys had this year in terms of, you spoke about it as well. Tyler Smith was a huge part of your guys' success, and then some other depth pieces as well. Just speak about how that depth at pitching, with guys besides Tyler and Brandon really took you guys to where you guys were able to go this season.
Yeah, I'll just first touch on Tyler. Tyler just left. He's gone to Williston State in North Dakota. I think he started his first day of classes today. To me, he's our pitcher of the year. He's the MVP of the league this year. He was just phenomenal. Nick Doig, senior, battled hard, worked hard, threw strikes. He was pretty much up in the top 3 with us. Then we got Hayden Mahey. He's been with us now 3 years. He's our mid-relief guy. He can start, he can close, very strong. And then our closer, Kevin Burnett, he's gone already back to Lethbridge, the PBA. Phenomenal, like just unbelievable. And then like our first year, Eli Firestein, he was a first year, didn't get many innings, but battled and worked hard, and we're hoping he can move into a starting role next year.
Yeah, it would be definitely interesting to see if Eli would be able to do that. This team this season was perfect all the way up until the two most notable games. Because you guys ended up dropping those. I mean, tying one first off, the tie against Carillon 6-6, and then the next game you guys lose 1-0 to St. James. So the little adversity that you guys had this season kind of came in that moment in the season right there in the regular season. And then you guys just powered through pretty much every team. There was only one close game after that. Just speak about when this team faces adversity, just how they're able to respond.
It's unique. It's special. It's unique. These guys don't get down. They don't get down on each other. They'll get down on themselves, personally. Justin Scott's hard on himself. He has a bad at bat, but usually when it's done, it's done. They never quit. They're not concerned. We can give up 4 or 5 runs, and we know with the offense we've got and our pitching that we can chip away, battle back, and compete. And it showed. The 6-6 tie in Steinbach against Carillon. Tyler, it was a rougher field. Tyler had a tough start, gave up 5. We were down 5-0 in the first inning, and we chipped away and went 2 extra innings, and then they don't have lights there, so we had to keep it as a tie. So that was a good adversity, that one. St. James was just a great game. I think the game was just under an hour. It was a 1-0 game. The run was unearned, but St. James battled, we battled, and it was really good, which led us to the Pembina Valley game on the Sunday at noon there, where we were again, down a few. We chipped away. We went extra innings. It was like the Coach Dave said, it was like being in a street fight. They punched us, we punched them, and we came victorious in that one.
Yeah, and you said on Pennant Valley Online that that was one of the best games you were ever involved in, and you said it was like a street fight. Just speak about what that moment was like in the playoffs. Like we've been talking about, the not much adversity you guys faced this year. You face adversity the game before the championship game. Just speak about what that was like in that game, truly of experiencing that.
That Pembina Valley, like I said, it was one of the best games I was ever involved with. Deep down, I was hoping and praying we would get the win, but we were already preparing for losing that game and playing that night back at home against Altona. And but the guys just never quit. Brandon Reset went complete with the extra innings. I think he threw 114 pitches. And we just knew if they scored 2, we had to score 2, and we came back, and that was a big momentum builder coming into the final.
You've said on your social media accounts, pretty sure on your Twitter, probably your Facebook too, that you guys are looking for the drive for 5 now. Just looking at the team heading into next season, could you just speak about what the team may look like?
Just go through the Darnell's back in center field. Justin's back in right. We lose Garrett Graham in left field. We've got a couple of kids that'll be battling for that left field spot. Both our catchers with Owen Knightchuk, Zach Delacki are back. Our Owen Harms is back. Dawson Tanner, who's down in suburban Illinois, we're hoping he'll be back, but you never know with school out there. They may try to keep him close. We've got Riley Craw coming back as a second year. He'll be playing third. Kevin Burnett can play the corner, so he's looking at probably filling in at first. So really, we're just looking at replacing Nick Doig and Brandon Reset. Well, all 4. And, of course, Riley Traeger, which is tough to replace because he can play everywhere. And everybody knows Riley. Riley's got the most sportsmanlike trophy, I think, 2 or 3 times in the MJBL. And then Garrett Graham, who's been a pillar in left field for 5 years. So a couple of pitchers, and we'll be pretty much the same team, hopefully.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So, in your opinion, the drive for 5 is very well alive at this point, even though you guys are losing players like Garrett, like Brandon, players like that.
Yeah, well, you know what? When we talked about the target on our back last year, it's going to be even bigger. We're going to have to put in the work and prepare, and we'll be ready to compete next year for sure.
Well, it's going to be so exciting to see. We're a ways away from it, but when it does happen, when the next MJBL season rolls around, we'll be sure to talk to you again, Ed. Thanks for taking the time out of your day, as always, for coming on Coffee with Graeme. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Graeme. I appreciate everything you do for the MJBL and the Elmwood Giants. We really appreciate everything you do, and the guys love chatting with you also. So looking forward to it anytime.
Yeah, awesome. Great to hear it. And yeah, we're just we're happy to help out with just spreading awareness of what the MJBL is, especially with a team like you guys who are looking for a 5th straight championship next season. I'm going to let Ed go now. We're going to be bringing in another Elmwood Giants player after the commercial break. Stick around to find out who it is here coming up on Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions.
Why go solar? Solar is better than ever. Our revolutionary design and inverter equipment with the latest in solar panel technology for the ultimate in-home and business security. That's right, I said security. Grid security and security of your home are linked. Fortify your future today with a battery backup system. No maintenance, quiet running. Did you know in Manitoba, grid-connected, off-grid, and battery backup systems are 100% right off in the year you purchase for any company or farm? Do you want to back up your internet, keep your tills running, and the lights on? We can install a system that is right for you with battery backup fully capable of taking on all those essential loads and keeping you running. When you call our experts at Evolve Green, ask about getting your free energy audit today. Call or email today to find out what system works best for you. 1-866-5EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.evolvegreen.ca.
Welcome back to this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. You just finished watching the interview that I did with Ed Kulyk, general manager of the Elmwood Giants. Now we're going to bring in one of their players, and he's here with us right now. It's Garrett Graham, left fielder, number 17 for the Elmwood Giants. Garrett, how's it going for you? I know it's late on this Wednesday night, but how's your day gone up until this point?
Well, it's been good. It's a little bit warmer outside, so could have spent a little bit of time outside doing some things other than sitting. So it's been a good day.
Yeah, for sure. Always nice when you're able to get outside the house and enjoy the nice warm weather, right? And we're not going to get much of it probably moving forward here in Manitoba with the way our weather seems to be, but fingers crossed that we continue to have that nice weather heading into fall. Wow, 4 championships in a row for you guys. Just how does that sound hearing it that you guys are a team that won 4 championships in a row?
I don't know. It's pretty awesome. You never really realize it's getting to that point till the last game of the season, but it's been next year after the other, and it's been a fun time doing it all.
For you and your personal experience with this team, you guys have been dominant every single season that you've had a chance to play with this team, just the class of the league. What have you found has made this Elmwood Giants the organization that they are, being able to win 4 championships in a row in this span?
I think it's definitely just been like the team itself. There's been some times where certain players shine, and you definitely rely. 4 years, I think the only thing that really could have made it possible is it doesn't matter if we had 2 or 3 good players. It was everyone that took their turn in the team plan, and they all stepped up and helped each other. So that definitely made it possible. That was the biggest thing I noticed for sure.
Yeah, and you guys have been able to get it done in absolutely every situation, almost, whether it be in blowouts, close games, bouncing back from maybe dropping a game. Just speak about the fight with this group throughout your 4 seasons with them.
It's I don't know. There's definitely some months where we had to fight a lot. The biggest fight was just against ourselves and not allowing to either step down to a level that we don't usually play at. And then just keeping the same energy. But that'd be the biggest fight for the team itself.
Let's speak about you now. You come into this season, you improved almost every single one of your stats in terms of the stats categories. You struck out substantially less this year. Just speak about the improvements that you found you made in your game this year to have the type of success that you had.
There's nothing particular I could put my finger on. It was always fun to play with a nice group of kids. So you take some stress off of that. And it may have just been because it's my last year. I had a little bit less stress in that category, but I don't know. I think I was just looking at the baseball a little more.
Yeah, well, it definitely worked out for you, just having the type of season that you were able to have. Just speaking about that, going into your last season playing in the MJBL for this Elmwood Giants team, did you feel like there was a different type of sense in the air this year coming in, or did you feel like it was the same thing as usual, just go out and do what you've been doing your whole career?
Same thing as usual, really. The biggest sense was, we're getting to that point where now it could be the 4th year in a row. So I think everyone, no one really talked about it too much openly, but it was the back of everyone's mind, and we're just hoping we don't lose too many games where we don't need to, and play as hard as we can. But same years every year.
When the team got together for the first time, just how special was that, knowing you guys were able to play another season of baseball in the MJBL?
It was good. It was good. It was nice to see everybody, even though this may have been my fake last year. It was good to stay another year to play with the kids you've always been playing with, or you miss that in between weird year where you play with them and you miss them the next year. But it was good. The kids always love each other, and there's always good friendships for everybody. So
Speak about the work you put in for yourself in the off season, just leading up to the season.
just more or less keeping away from injury and making sure I don't become a couch potato, but playing a little bit of some other sports during the winter time and doing some training in the gym, but can't say I've been doing too much of that. So
What were some of those other sports you had a chance to play?
we did some men's league volleyball. It's gonna be the biggest one,
Nice.
and then every once in a while just helping the brothers out with their training and getting healthy that way. So
Yeah. Always nice to kind of branch out into a different sport and help your siblings, with
oh,
their
for sure.
training. It's always a silver lining, right? Being an athlete, being able to give back to your family like that. Just coming into the season, you guys were I think the unanimous favorite coming in, and you guys backed it up on the field, going 16-1-1, just to have that type of dominance in a season like this where it's your last season playing in the MJBL. Just what was that like to see just the boys, you and all the rest of the team go out and do their thing all season long?
It was really awesome. It was always lots of fun when you're winning. Yeah, it was fun to see everyone having a good time. I never really realized it'd be my last potential last year for baseball until the last little week or so. So it just kind of flies by. But it was good to see everyone just trying their hardest every game and playing well. So
Yeah, you guys, went perfect at home. 16-1 in the 1-1 in the regular season, earning a bye for that double elimination bracket type of playoff format that the MJBL had. Did you feel like there was a lot of nerves heading into that first game, just knowing the uncertainty of, we could lose 2 games and we're done?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some nerves going in. I was a little more nervous when we were playing against Pemina, where it was just a little bit more of a back-to-back game, and both teams were fine very well. But no, I had not a lot of. I was pretty faithful that we just make it all the way through. As long as we kept playing when we played, it was gonna be good.
Let's speak about that semifinal game now. 9-8 win over Pemina Valley. You guys ended up beating them in the final, of course, but it was described as your coaching staff as a street fight. Just speak about that game, what that street fight was like for you guys to get to the final.
It certainly was. It started off pretty flat for us. Pemina definitely challenged our will to win that one game right out. But it was not a dull moment. Every out was earned for both teams, and whether you came up 2 the next inning, Pembroke came back with 3, and we had to keep going and keep going. There was no break in the lead. But I think the home run from our side, that from Owen Harms, I definitely clutched up the team and made it a bit more of a fight. So that helped out for sure.
Just speaking about that finals game, of course, Pembina Valley kind of giving you guys a scare in a way with how close that game was, but you guys come out and do your thing. I heard you guys exploded in that 5th inning. I'm pretty sure, yeah, you had a 3-run home run to kind of sweeten the deal a bit more in that finals game. Just getting the chance to go out and show your best stuff in your last game ever in the MJBL with Elmwood. How truly special was that championship game for you, taking into account just what you were able to do?
It was really awesome. There's definitely, I don't think I could have thought of a better way to leave, but I was having too much fun. I didn't even realize it was going to be in the 5th inning until it was done. But I don't know. It was awesome. I never remember the good pitches I hit, so it's all a blur at that point. But it was really awesome last game.
Yeah, and just that feeling to lift that trophy for the 4th time in your career, the 4th year in a row, just when that final out hit, what was the just, feeling that celebration again, experiencing that celebration again, just to describe that moment for you and the team.
It's I don't know. It's tough. Even though it was the 4th time in a row, it's never really something you get used to. But it's always exciting every time it happens, and just to see everyone jumping around the guy on first base to celebrate the hit that moved one of the runners over was just always fun to jump into the dog pile there. But yeah, it's tough to describe.
You guys end up going perfect at home this season, getting to end off the season at Koski Field. Just speak about what it's been like playing there, especially this season with just not having the same amount of spectators as you guys would usually have in a normal year, and then just getting to have that that full support out in the final game, especially.
It's nice. It's always nice to have the friends and family there to cheer you on, and look up in the stands and they're all there. But it's a really awesome field to play on. I'm sure our grounds crew takes care of it immensely. Even though it makes make fun of some of the kids that are on our team that work there. You like to give them heck, but they do an amazing job. It's really, I think, definitely the best field in the league. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that from your GM too, Ed Kulyk. Seems like there's a lot of praise for Koski Field. I've personally never seen it, but I assume it's just a top-notch facility. For you, after playing the amount of time you did in the MJBL, getting a chance to come back because they upped the age level this year, just looking back at it, your career with Elmwood, what would you say is your biggest takeaway from playing with this organization?
Definitely just the friendships and the connections you make. Like it up until the junior year, just it just felt more like just a baseball team, and you go there and you play, you have fun, you make a few friends. But getting into the juniors, where you get to spend some time with the head coach and every other coach that's there with you. Oh, just makes it feel a little bit more like a family. Everyone knows each other. Everyone talks to each other after. It's always just a great feeling. So that'd be the biggest thing I take away for sure.
And are you going to be going off to college soon?
I will not be. No, I haven't gone away anywhere. I'm still here in U of W. So I'm living life that way. But I don't know. It was always fun too, but wasn't for me.
Well, we'll see what happens with Garrett Graham heading forward in his baseball career. If he's ever going to play competitive again, will he play in college? We'll have to wait and see and find out if that opportunity arises. But Garrett, just a phenomenal career for you as an Elmwood Giant, and ended it off the right way with a fourth championship in a row. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your Wednesday night for joining me. I hope to talk to you again in the future, maybe.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to Coffee with Graham on AETi Productions. Ed Kulyk, general manager of the Elmwood Giants, and Garrett Graham, number 17 and left fielder of the Elmwood Giants, join me today in this Elmwood Giants Championship special edition of Coffee with Graham. And wow, 4 championships in a row for this team. The first team to accomplish that feat since the Carmen Goldeyes did it first in league history. And yeah, for Elmwood, I think the story has been the same throughout these past 4 seasons. It's come to the field ready to work, come about 2.5 hours before the first pitch, and get in the mindset of things, put in the work in the off season, put in the work consistently throughout the season, have great offense, a deep offensive team in terms of their bats, and just a team that always seems to not only have star-studded pitching, but a lot of depth at that position as well. And they'll only be losing 4 players heading into the 2022 season next year, so it could be a real possibility that this team gets 5 in a row, but we'll have to wait and see until next season. The Drive for 5 starts next year for the Elmwood Giants. And yeah, It was a fun season of getting to cover the MJBL. We're happy here at ASTV Productions, and especially on Coffee with Graham, that we were able to bring you guys coverage from not only the Elmwood Giants, but other teams in the league. And we hope to cover it again next season. And I hope you guys are excited for that too, because that is a very strong possibility of that happening. So yeah, the MJBL season ended last Monday on August 16th, and it's going to be awesome to see the talent in the league next year again, as it's going to be very competitive once again, I'm sure. So yeah, that's going to do it for this edition of Coffee with Graham on ASTV Productions. I want to thank Ed Kulyk and Garrett Graham for coming on and being the guests in today's episode. I also want to thank you, the viewer, for taking the time out of your Thursday morning and tuning into this edition of the show. And I also want to thank our sponsors of Coffee with Graham and AETi, Fabricland Winkler, and Evolve Green for sponsoring another edition of the show. As for me, I'll be back for another edition of Coffee with Graham, hopefully next week on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time. If we're not able to get an episode out on that Tuesday morning, we'll be sure to have one for you guys probably Wednesday night, as we've been doing most recently with our Tuesday episodes. But yeah, if it does air Tuesday, you guys can catch it on our Facebook at ASTV Productions or on our website at astvproductions.com. But until next week, folks, on Tuesday, I'll see you then. Graeme Forsyth of Coffee with Graham and ASTV Productions signing out now until next week on Tuesday. Stay safe out there. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and also have a great weekend as well. Peace out, everyone.